All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'll go ahead and call us in. It is December 12th, 2023, and the board will now meet in public session. We were first called to order at 4:30 today, with the board going into directly into executive session under the following ORS 192.6602A, to consider the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent, and ORS 192.6602D, to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations. It is now 6:08 p.m. and we're reconvening our meeting with the public session, which is a business session. We have all board members present this evening, and we'd like to go ahead and get started with a land acknowledgement, which I'll hand over to my colleague, Director Avila, to read off for us. And just a reminder before we jump in for all of us, pace is important for our interpreters who are here present with us, but also online and on audio. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches. We are gathered today on the land of the Kalapuya, who are represented by the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians. The relationship between the Kalapuya people and this land continues unbroken to this day, and we offer gratitude for the land and for the generations present and past who have stewarded the land since time immemorial. We respectfully acknowledge and honor past, present, and future Native American and Indigenous students and staff of Salem-Keizer Public Schools. We invite you to join us in honoring these ancestral grounds and celebrating the resilience and strength of all Native American and Indigenous people.
Thank you. If you may stand and join me for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Well, Superintendent Castellano, do we have any agenda modifications this evening?
We do not.
Awesome. Well, that actually then brings us straight into our business portion, which is our spotlight on success, and probably my favorite part of the evening.
It is one of my favorite parts as well, and I'm going to make a small addition to Spotlight. In addition to some important community members, I'm also going to spotlight 2 birthdays. We have our student advisor, Linda Pappas, who had a birthday. And also we have Director Cynthia Richardson with a birthday as well. So we spotlight our birthdays as well.
Happy birthdays.
I did run into Linda at Target on her birthday, which is how I came into this information.
That is the way to celebrate, though. Target for the win. Okay.
Okay, so moving on to our more formal portion of Spotlights, I want to actually pass this over to Megan Conser from Stevens Middle School. She's a health teacher, and I believe she will be running Spotlight. Yeah.
Join us.
Perfect.
I don't know if is it hot or. Feel free to take a seat. Yeah. And. You'll have to hold the button down, and then if you want to get it closer to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, Chair Guzman-Ortiz, Board of Directors, student advisors. On behalf of the Salem-Keizer Schools and the 8th grade health teachers, tonight we would like to recognize an important leader in the community that has empowered students and increased safety for the public. The Salem Fire Department has partnered with our district to provide CPR and AED training to middle school students. In the case of a sudden cardiac incident, students are equipped with the skills to provide hands-only CPR and AED use to save a life. As a teacher of teenagers, it is exciting to see the personal growth and empowerment my students with this program. It's a special feeling to witness the realization in my students that they are able to contribute to the safety of our entire community. They are not just teens, they are young people now trained to save lives. The Salem Fire Department schedules days to come into our classes and teach hands-on, which is a valuable way for students to learn and very helpful to those of us trying to teach it. This term we had just under 600 students trained in SKPS 8th grade health classes across the district. Times that by 3, and that is how much safer our community will grow this year alone, thanks to Salem Fire Department providing awareness and skills to our capable young people. And a personal note, as a teacher, I'm always grateful and beyond thankful that they come in and recognize our challenges as teachers and support us in our teaching and encourage us to keep doing what we love. We are also grateful to the Salem Fire Foundation, who has been integral in the success of the CPR and AED program by helping to raise funds for sustaining this crucial program through community donations. Even during the pandemic, students in our district continued receiving support thanks to the online CPR certification option for students and training video offered on the Salem Fire Foundation website. We express deep gratitude to the Salem Fire Department and the Salem Fire Foundation for their invaluable support in ensuring the safety of our community and fostering the growth of our students.
We have a little photo op happening right over here, so we'll join you in one moment. And as we make that transition, I also would like to invite Shelley Ward up, the college and career coach at West. And as we do this photo op, you can prepare to offer your spotlight. Just give us one moment.
Okay, you.
What if the mic is already hot? Can you say something without touching the button? I think you have to hold the thing. Yeah, they switched it last time.
Okay, take it away.
Good evening, Chair Guzman-Ortiz, board directors, student advisors, and Superintendent Castaneda. I am proud to be here tonight, joined by Lance Scarata, a senior at West Salem High School. Lance created an app that aims to make SAT math learning accessible and easy to understand. This app includes a custom study plan, formulas likely to appear on the SAT, tests, and flashcards. He received honorable mention in the state level contest, and his app will be featured in the U.S. Capitol building and on the House of Representatives website. The SAT has long been a symbol of educational disparity, favoring those who can afford expensive preparation resources. To counteract this, Lance created Summit SAT with the explicit goal of narrowing the educational inequality gap in our community and state. By offering an affordable alternative, yes, his app is free, he aimed to empower all students, regardless of financial means, to overcome this barrier and expand the opportunities for the future. He hopes to create an environment where the SAT would not be a limiting factor in the college students apply to and the scholarships they qualify for. This was a blueprint for SAT mastery, enabling students to reach their goals and no longer be held back by the SAT obstacle. Many of his friends and classmates have used the system to improve their SAT scores by upwards of 300 points. Lance has always looked for ways to expand student opportunities beyond the classroom experience. Lance doesn't actively pursue recognition, but they come naturally from the actions of his internal drive. In June, Lance will graduate. He has taken almost every available AP course offered at West and stands out not just academically, but also as a great peer who is humble, caring, and compassionate. Lance, thank you for allowing us to highlight your amazing work. We are thankful you're part of the Titan family.
I mean, I'm just wondering if there's going to be expansion into like, you know, the other testing. LSATs. GRE, MCATs.
I'll just your basic geometry first, and algebra and math.
That's amazing.
Okay. Now we're on to a very special spotlight. If we can ask Paul Dacopoulos to come join us at a table you rarely sit at, which is this table right here. This is such a special night because Paul has been a central part of the Salem-Keizer Public Schools team for over 30 years. And we're here celebrating so much about you, but centrally, your contributions to the students of Salem-Keizer. And although I've only been here for a few months of your 30-plus years, I did have an opportunity to watch Paul be celebrated amongst his family and friends. And what I want to share in part is the feeling of that room, because I think that it conjures up not just a career of service, but a life lived so well. The room was full of humor and love and respect and admiration and just so many years of all the people you've touched, all of the school systems you've supported, and then through that, the thousands and thousands of students, and especially, we believe, the students of Salem-Keizer Public Schools. It is just a rare honor for people to have helpers like you join our orbit and support our students and our schools. So many things have happened here in part because you quietly made them happen. And we have opened buildings, and we have entered in creative partnerships, and we have solved problems, and we and you all have done it for decades because of your steadfast friendship, expertise, leadership, and I believe love for Salem-Keizer Public Schools. And as the smallest possible way, we want to make sure we recognize you today for all that you've done for all of us and for the students of Salem-Keizer. So we're going to embarrass you with a little bit more, and then we're going to turn it over to you in case you would like to share anything. So first, we want to offer our appreciation for you.
You get to hold a button this
Hold
time.
button. Wow. I've been a lawyer for close to 40 years, but a number of years ago, about 30 years ago, I started representing school districts throughout the state of Oregon, the smallest to the biggest. I was in my 30s time. 7 superintendents ago, Superintendent Homer Kearns came to me one day. Cynthia was back then. Came to me and said, "Can you be the chief legal counsel for the Salem-Keizer School District, the second largest school district in Oregon. And I gathered all the courage I had to say, yes. And I've given all my love and devotion to this particular school district. And I've gotten to work with the best educators back there and the people that came before them, the best administrators, the best superintendents, the best boards. It's been a remarkable legal career because of who I get to represent, not who I am. Not many lawyers get to represent an entity that is about good, where everyone in the organization, from the bus drivers to the autism consultants, to this cabinet, to teachers, principals, we're all striving for the same goal. And there's going to be disagreements, of course, along the way, but they're all going to get solved, every single one, because we're all part of an organization that creates good for this community. And I've been part of that. I've been lucky to be part of that. I think back on some of the big things that didn't happen because of my lawyering. And there's a whole chapter of blank pages about the bad things that could have happened that didn't. And I had a hand in that. You know, I think if I were to point at three things that, maybe four, that were big things for me for this district. Number one, supporting excellent superintendents. It's a hard job, it's a lonely job. And being a partner in that with superintendents is really something. And we have had and currently have remarkable superintendents. I work with superintendents all over the state of Oregon, so I know a thing or two about this. Secondly, CTEC. CTEC is nationally known, and so many people had a part of that. Superintendent Christy Perry, pivotal. But I got to help too, and putting that together was really neat, and it's made our community, it's just a great part of our community. Another part I'm super proud of, special education. We have 6,000 special ed students in our district. We have the lowest number of special ed disputes. Hardly ever a dispute, and that's because of a collaboration of working with parents and doing what's best for kids who have special needs. I'm so proud of that we didn't spend 30 years fighting. We spent 30 years solving special education problems. And the last thing I'd point to that I was really proud about was helping develop a risk assessment program to keep kids safe. You're the model for that, and I helped. And I put as much passion into this as you all are doing as board members, as the superintendent is doing her tough job, as all the teachers behind me are doing in the classroom, all the consultants, all the principals. So it's a big blessing to me to be able to have done this work with such a remarkable group of people. So thank you for honoring me.
Thank you.
Do you want to do every?
Yeah, whole board?
Whole board?
Yeah.
Let's do a big
That's a
group
great idea.
picture.
Do a picture with you, Paul.
Yeah. Bring it up over.
Mother's happy, mother's happy, mother's happy. We have to make two lines, we have to make two lines. I'm in the back. I'm in the back.
Well, thank you for for those 3 spotlights, and thank you, Paul, for your words and for your 30-plus years with us. That really does take love. That just makes me feel so sad. Look at you. Thank you. And so well said, just a labor of love all around. Well, let's transition on then.
Absolutely.
Off to you, Superintendent Castañeda.
Thank you. All right, so I will move into Superintendent's report, which really has 2 parts, and we'll get a slide deck. There we go. It's coming. So the first is actually just a brief reflection on 3 experiences that I've had over the last 3 or 4 days. And they are the Sprague High School earning their unified banner, the Winter West celebration, which I went to it on Saturday, and then the McKinley holiday celebration that was last night. And the reason I want to pull these 3 events into the room is that I do believe they are stitched together by a common and deeply joyful nature. Each of them in their own way were students and staff and community coming together and celebrating, I believe, what is best in our schools and in our community. Students and staff worked so hard to achieve each of those accomplishments, and the rooms were full of joy and gratitude and celebration. And I will say in particular that as we were closing out on the McKinley Winter concert last night, 2 things happened that I think really sent me, and I hope you, off into a much-needed rest and holiday season. So the first is that through the conjuring of a very enthusiastic choir teacher, the entire gym at Leslie did, in fact, sing a Christmas carol together, standing up. And it was great. I think it was great fun for all. The other is that there was one young choir singer, who shall remain nameless, but offered a really remarkable version of the robot in the middle of the performance. Everybody who was there knows exactly the young person I'm talking about, and it was that spontaneous joy that just radiated through the room. And each of these 3 events, they're happening all throughout our system. These are just the 3 I happened to be at, and they were remarkable because our schools are remarkable. Okay, so I will also make a quick pass through the budget because there are some important things happening, and although this has been a subject of great attention, I will address it in a fairly limited way tonight. So first, I just want to quickly acknowledge that this week that passed, it's been a hard one in Salem-Keizer because we did start doing some of the hardest parts of our first round of reductions. Those were hard, and they were kind of the middle point in a journey that I do want to just kind of quickly pass over one more time and make sure that I'm being as clear as possible and that we're telling our story as we go. So if you could advance this slide. So this is, we've got on the slide, we've got a brief summary. It's also included in the board materials of everything that was part of our first round of reductions. This first round was something that we did make a commitment to the community, and our commitment was to make a round of reductions after Thanksgiving, which we've been calling round one. And we did bring forth $31 million in proposed reductions and adjustments. This is part of the work of managing a budget and easing it into fiscal sustainability and health. And this work is, it's not glamorous, it's hard, and it requires discipline and intentionality. And it started on July 1st, actually, when we took our first initial step in really implementing an austerity plan relative to our budget so that we were controlling expenses. If you can advance to the next slide. I do believe we are just going to continue with a consistent approach to showing this information. In July and August, these are some of the first images that we started sharing with the world. You can see that one on the left. And in it, it shows, in summary, the gap between our expense and revenue and the way that our ending fund balance, which is in effect our savings account, is dramatically falling because it's catching the gap between the two. After a full quarter of intensive cost controls, we have made a significant improvement to, that is my Ring doorbell, I'm sorry about that. We have made a significant improvement to the way that our expense, revenue, and ending fund balance is looking. But the thing to emphasize here is that this is not an achievement in one quarter. In order to see the change you see between the first and second graph, in which you see the expense line dropping down, and you see the ending fund balance staying a little bit higher, the only way to get that is if we exercise discipline for 2 full years. 1 quarter reset our spending habits. It will take 2 years to realize that kind of savings. Nonetheless, it is a step in the right direction. It is the first and most important thing that we could do as a district. That is what we presented last month. Then we introduced our proposed round 1 reductions, and if you can just advance the slide 1 click, you'll see at a high level how we're continuing to reshape our financial health. We'll talk about the details a little bit in a moment, but for now, with this high level kind of balcony view, I think that the key takeaway here is that this is what it looks like to begin reshaping expense and reshaping ending fund balance health over the course of 2 fiscal years. It's not just this one. This one is important because this is when we start the work. But what we're really focused on is next year's end of the fiscal year point. Here you can see we keep pushing that expense line down. The $31 million in recommended adjustments is an important contribution to pushing that expense line down. You'll also see the ending fund balance isn't falling so steeply anymore. Now it's got more of a rounded shape. That's because it's just a little bit more healthy. This is the result of about 6 months of very intensive financial recovery work. And all of these were the right steps. But that doesn't make the moment easy for any of us. And unfortunately, the work isn't done. If you could advance to the next slide. This is a slightly larger view of how we are looking after the round 1 reductions. And I want to just celebrate a few of the highlights. So first of all, we are now, with the round 1 reductions, projecting a positive ending fund balance for next year. And while this is not something to exactly celebrate, because a negative end funding balance is a legal impossibility, it is something to recognize. We've pulled that negative 38 bit by bit, and we've inched it into the black. That is a really good sign. The other things you can see is that expense line is falling. And it's falling not because we will it to do so, but because we're looking for places for savings and adjustment. We can also see that the work isn't done. And the way that we can see that specifically is there still is a pretty significant gap in expense and revenue. That's the difference between the 608 and the 554. That's the work we have yet to do. Over the course of the last week especially, I've had a chance to hear from and talk to a number of people, community members, parents, educators, staff, labor leaders, and I just want to recognize that the feelings that many of us are carrying around, uncertainty, confusion, anxiety, in some cases, frustration and anger and fear, all of those are an absolutely expected part of this moment. Because financial recovery draws that out of all of us, even our team. But it is a steadfastness and a commitment to doing this together and as publicly as possible that is what will see us through. And if I kind of return back to the feeling of being at Leslie Middle School and listening to McKinley, or being in West's auditorium and listening to the music there, I think that the thing that I take away from this is that we're going to preserve the best of what we are, because we're going to be clear about what those things are. Reductions don't define us, but they will help sustain us. And the reductions that are coming in the next rounds will be hard too. There is absolutely no way around that. But the best way to be in something hard, in my opinion, is to be in it honestly and be in it together. And so that's what we'll keep doing as well. And with that, I think I will conclude my budget comments and turn it back over to you, Chairwoman.
Thank you. I had to write a portion of that down. We are at the point of our public comment, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking at my vice chair, second vice chair. Before we jump in, I'll go ahead and just kind of set some reminders for folks, and as usual. So again, we've selected speakers at random and provide an opportunity for comment via Zoom, in person, and writing. This evening we'll have 30 minutes allotted to hear public comment, and all of our public commenters shall be in person. Each participant has 3 minutes. Electronic mechanisms are used for translation, and we'll have a countdown timer on screen. And hopefully that's viewable from the table this evening. The timer does count down from 3 minutes at 30 seconds and turns from green to yellow. Sorry, counts down from 3 minutes at 30 seconds. It turns from green to yellow, and at 1 second it turns red, and it plays a short bell to signal that time is up. Please do be mindful once again of your pace for our interpreters, and any written comment submitted will be received by the board and posted on the district website. We have 10 people who were selected for public comment this evening, and I have a list. I'll try my best to do better at pronunciation this time. We'll go ahead and get started then. So we'll jump right into Carrie Litchfield if you're here, and afterwards, following is Edie. So I'm gonna try kind of prep the next person this time around, see how it goes. The mic is not hot, so we do ask that you please hold down the button as you speak, and that shall do. Yeah, I don't know if you can pull it a little bit closer to you, if that would make it a little bit more comfortable. No. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I think it's a little far. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Chairperson Guzman and members of our Salem-Keizer School Board. My name is Carrie Litchfield, and I am the parent of both a recent graduate and a current Salem-Keizer student. And I've been a teacher in this district for 24 years at all levels, from pre-K to high school. I'm currently teaching at Roberts High School at Chemeketa, and I teach the teen parent, so I have the youngest of our littlest ones and our oldest ones as well. And I'm speaking here tonight not about teaching, but I want to urge you to consider both the ethical and legal ramifications of Ms. Castaneda and Central Administration's budgeting decision to reduce our already skeletal school nurse team from 23 licensed nurses to only 18 licensed nurses. Our nursing team is responsible for covering the medical needs of students at 75 different sites. Let me say that in a different way. We are the second largest school district in the state with well over 47,000 students, probably more, who attend school at one of 75 different sites. And we will have only 18 nurses next year. For those of you doing the math, that caseload averages out to be almost 3,000 students per nurse. Even now, as it stands, our nurses' caseloads are already far too large to adequately meet the medical needs of our special education and 504 students across our district. Our 23 nurses spend their days scrambling to provide the medical care our students require to be physically able to attend and engage in school. Federal and state laws, in addition to Oregon Department of Education mandates, require licensed nurses to administer direct medical care to many of our students. In addition, our skeletal nursing team must train the instructional assistants who will provide daily lower-level medical care to our students. As a district, we have struggled to attract and retain quality staff members to fill these classified positions. With a revolving door of substitute IAs, it is irresponsible, negligent, and frankly dangerous to assume that students' immediate medical needs will be met by reducing the number of nurses serving our students. If my emphasis on the unmet medical needs of our students doesn't sway you, perhaps I might appeal to your sense of fiduciary responsibility. This decision to reduce our nursing team will make our district even more vulnerable to litigation and civil lawsuits, and the district will lose those lawsuits. Our district is already in a precarious position, having dissolved many of our fully or partially self-contained special education classrooms and programs. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, who works with these students will attest that we are not meeting those students' needs in the least restrictive environment as mandated by federal IDEA laws. The decision to reduce our nursing staff will only increase the likelihood that our district funds will be drained by fines and legal settlements. I find it.
Thank you. We didn't have an audio on our screen this time. We usually do, correct? Yeah. Thank you, Carrie. We have Edie and then Kimberly Reed Zauber afterwards, so. I like the audio, but it's disappeared now. It'll start again after we go. Okay. Do we have audio on it, or? I'm checking with technology. Okay, thank you. It's just helpful, I know.
So I just have to hold this down the whole
Yes,
time?
please,
Okay.
make it comfortable for you.
All right. Good evening, school board leadership. My name is Edie Buchanan, president of ASCII-SP, here tonight on behalf of our 2,800 members. Tonight, I speak to the first round of budget reductions. We were all told by district administration that these first rounds of cuts would not be student-facing. As we all know, many district-level programs have been created or expanded over the last few years, most that do not directly impact students. Logically, the association assumed that this is where the first round of cuts would be focused. Oh, how wrong we were. The district instead chose to cut our native language specialists, our translators, and our licensed practical nurses, all of which are grouped under instructional support, all of which are student-facing. Again, the district says one thing and does another. Is it any wonder why most employees in this district don't trust the district to be truthful in their statements when actions show otherwise? Additionally, 3 employees out of 4 classified as administrative secretaries are also on the chopping block. These employees directly support all schools with new curriculum, adoptions, books, and consistently work out in schools to support our library media assistants since there is such a shortage of staff. The library media department has already been gutted, and we are currently having our LMAs at the elementary and the middle schools literally serving as librarians since the last round of budget reductions in 2010 and 2011, with no needed change in salary or updated job descriptions to make them whole. Again, since 2010, 2011, LMAs are serving as librarians. The district knows this and has refused to address this for years. The next group of employees who directly support students and families are senior clerical specialists, and 4.7 of these valued employees are being reduced. All in all, this first round of budget reductions saves the district approximately $5 million. Crazy, but that is close to the exact amount of the large salaries increases that all administrators received last year that, again, you approved. Additionally, we just learned that this same group of folks were just awarded 2.5% COLA for this year, on top of the outrageous raises they got last year. For math's sake, let's break that down. While the COLA was only 2.5%, for any person who has a six-figure income, this is a substantial increase, upwards of $5,000 per year. Why would we do this, preaching to the community of impending doom? The superintendent said that for every new dollar spent, that was another dollar for the community to expect cuts. How is this financially responsible? Again, this district's actions cause us to seriously question their integrity, honesty, and judgment.
Thank you. Kimberly Reed-Zauber, and then we'll have Christina Gagner.
Good evening, Salem-Keizer community. I'm Kimberly Reed-Zauber, she, her. I'm a teacher at Parish Middle School, and I'm speaking as an individual. I know you've heard generally about problems in our schools, but I'd like to describe a few of the issues that we face at a particular school, at my school, at Parish. Parish's only outdoor green space is a rectangle of grass about 70 by 50 yards. That's the only outdoor space available to students during the day, during PE, for sports. It's this little rectangle of grass surrounded by a cyclone fence, and it looks like we're engineering a school-to-prison pipeline. Our classrooms range from 53 to 87 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. And we expect students to learn in these conditions. We have rats and mice. We make do with broken furniture. We've lost educators due to low pay, an unhealthy physical environment, and excessive workloads due to understaffing. This stuff can only be remedied with money. So here's what I and hundreds, maybe thousands, literally, of like-minded educators want you to do. First, prioritize students. Don't just say that you do. If our budget is short, then we should be reducing everything in the district that does not directly support students or the educators that do. That's what prioritizing students looks like. Second, sell, return, find alternatives to equipment and structures that don't directly support students. Keep and add, number 3, keep and add more student-serving positions. And by the way, our union's contract proposals will give you a good idea of how to start on that. Fourth, reduce salaries at central admin. Really. Because in 2004, licensed teachers took a pay cut. And then shortly thereafter, in 2010, a pay freeze. We did this to address a lack of funding due to recession. But this time around, when our budget looked shaky, we saw added central admin positions, absurd raises, non-student supporting purchases, and all of this while enrollment declined and we lost student serving staff. So now it's your turn to do the same. Stop threatening us with reductions at our schools. Make this all happen centrally. And keep your cuts away from our students.
Thank you, Kimberly. We have Christina Gagner and followed by Rick Kimball.
Hi, my name's Christina Gagner. I'm a registered nurse here at Salem-Keizer Public Schools, and I've asked Denise Proudfoot to come up with me to share some words.
Hi, my name is Denise Proudfoot. I've been serving Salem-Keizer with some of you for a few years since I joined the district in 16-17. Like all the nurses that have come before us and the nurses here before us, like other speakers have mentioned, we come with our full hearts and souls having given to Salem-Keizer. And it's on the behalf of my RN team and the students that we're here to address the disproportionate reduction specifically to the RN team by 20%, not to mention the LPN reduction of 75% of their FTE. I can't shake the apparent reality that either the executive cabinet has been misinformed about the far-reaching implications of such a disproportionate reduction in school nursing staff, or we as nurses have a pretty grave misunderstanding about the high-risk burden that this district is willing for us to carry. There seems to be a misunderstanding of our role in forming this decision, or maybe a personal bias that we just can't quite figure out, to think that to be included in round one district level reductions that are touted as non-student facing with minimal impact on students is mind-boggling to us. The fact that we were included, we can easily substantiate, as you know, with anecdotal as well as statistical testimony that indicates how school nurses are student-facing daily, with interventions that directly enable our kids to get back into class, to come to school, that impact their reading ability, their graduation success, and enhance their sense of belonging. There seems to be a misunderstanding of the impact on students and on the liability in regard to state law, specifically under Division 22, about what this FTE reduction in RN staffing would do. It would leave us, as we understand it, with 18 RN FTE remaining to serve, that would be legally bound and dedicated to serve 10% of our population. No RN FTE after that left to serve the remaining 34, approximately 1,000 students with general health. No RN FTE after that. We've got so much more to say. There's a fiscal misunderstanding of what a school nurse can bring. We can bill with adequate staffing. We can bill for services based on Medicaid billing and MAC billing rules. Thank you for listening. We have so much more we hope that we can discuss further.
Thank you for your time. Welcome, Rick, and afterwards we'll have Brian Zauber.
Good evening, Chairwoman Guzman-Ortiz, Superintendent Castaneda, school board members, student advisors. I'm here representing 24 individuals who have signed a letter that you should have received by email earlier today, and I'm going to read that letter. The letter is addressed to school board members, Superintendent Castaneda, Salem-Keizer Education Association leadership, and the Association of Salem-Keizer Education Support Professionals leadership team. As superintendent, agree that educators deserve a raise. At the same time, our schools face a projected budget shortfall of at least $38 million for the next school year. As business, education, and civic leaders, we are deeply invested in our local public school system. We write today to express our continued support for the Salem-Keizer School Board and Superintendent Andrea Castaneda as they continue to try to reach a bargaining agreement with the Salem-Keizer Education Association and the Association for Salem-Keizer Education Support Professionals, as well as prepare for significant budget cuts. Our community's economic success is tied to a thriving school system. Rarely have our students had such a pressing need for us to come together on their behalf, particularly as they and our dedicated educators struggle to overcome the pandemic's dire effects. We know the last several years have been extremely challenging, and we recognize the continued commitment and hard work of our educators and support staff. Our schools depend on the state for funding. Much as we conduct our household finances, they can only spend as much money as they have in the bank. Oregon schools are legally required to pass a balanced budget, and the district simply cannot afford the union's salary demands. Superintendent Castaneda has already begun the arduous process of analyzing the district's budget and determining where reductions will be taken. We know that cuts of this magnitude will touch every corner of the school system. We have will have a profound impact on students, staff, and community. All of us who have signed this letter, and there's 24 individuals, have been in leadership positions ourselves. We clearly understand the pressures facing the current school board and superintendent. As the leaders of our district, please know we have confidence in your leadership, and we support and appreciate your service to our community and to our children. Our community holds a rich history of working together to resolve the challenges that face us. Salem-Keizer and its residents have been emblematic of the can-do attitude of Oregonians. For the sake of our students, we urge the educators and support staff to consider the financial bind our schools are in and reach a reasonable agreement that the district can afford. For the sake of our students, we urge the school board to do all in its power to direct scarce resources in the ways that recognize the vital value of our educators and support staff. Thank you for listening tonight.
Thank you. Brian Sauber, are you okay?
And then we have Liz Dukar.
Yes, thanks, Brian. I was just queuing the next person. Thanks for.
Testing.
Yeah, you'll have to hold.
All right. Good evening, Chair, Board, Superintendent, Salem-Keizer community. My name is Brian Zauber-Reed. I am an employee of the Salem-Keizer School District support staff, and I am speaking as an individual. Wow. I'd like to touch more on that hot topic. Hit that button, the budget. Much of my colleagues in the community that we just heard were probably wondering, how did we get here? You know, how did this all happen? You know, I mean, I'm sure we've been inundated with town halls, videos from our school district about, you know, and graphs about how, you know, what one way it did. But it seems that we're kind of dancing around the elephant in the room, you know, and I kind of look at like district Escalades, you know, these Cadillacs, and I'm going, maybe that might be it. I'm looking at the administrative salaries, all of them, which make more than our governor. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, that's our boss. I mean, our superintendent, I was actually shocked to recently find this out, that she makes more than our vice president of the United States. I don't know. Who are we competing with? Paris? I mean, I heard someone tell me that, you know, we had to be competitive. And I'm like, with world powers? I mean, how is that even fair? So I don't know. We just need to stop. I mean, we got to really figure this out. I mean, I understand there's this budget, but I mean, to be more than our, and I voted for, I love this woman, you know, our vice president of the United States. I'm like, that's a little over the top. And then everyone else making more than the governor. I mean, it seems to be a little off balance. She writes our check. we're state employees. I don't know how the pyramid got upside down. So, yeah, we just need to stop. We need to stop scaring the students. We need to stop scaring our staff. You know, during COVID, man, I was proud of this district and this leadership. We did amazing, amazing things. We were able to take a brick and mortar school and on a dime, we turned it into virtual. I mean, we were serving students on their doorstep. I was one of them. We sat there in the rain. What happened to us? Where? I don't know, man. I can't.
Good evening, school board and guests. My name is Liz Dakar. I have been a teacher in the Salem-Keizer School District since 1996. I am currently teaching second grade at Calapooya Elementary. This has always been a difficult job, but each year it gets harder. One reason for that is our class size. In the state of Oregon, daycare providers are required by law to have one adult to every 15 school-aged children. In a daycare setting, they are only required to keep them safe.
On a little bit. Diabetes, because that's what we see the most of. We see our kids coming in and out of the classrooms looking for care. Imagine if they had to stay at the office while math and reading is being taught because they're waiting for a finger poke. Or our asthmatics who miss the most days in a year. I ask you to think about that as you make your financial decisions and the responsibility you want to take on. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with all of you and hear what we as nurses do.
Thank you, Carolyn and Wendy. Do we have Kim Boucher with us? Oh, that was Kim. Sorry, I wrote the wrong name. Okay, so we only have Cindy. Cindy, I think I saw you. Welcome. No, take your 3 minutes. Yes, hold the button,
Okay.
please.
I have to keep my finger. Hello, school board members and student advisors, and my friend, and Chair, I'm going to say it right, Karina Guzman Ortiz, and Superintendent Castaneda. I appreciate that you do prioritize the health and safety of our students. I have been a Salem-Keizer School registered nurse for 23 years, plus a little. I, too, am advocating for the health and safety and well-being of our entire student population from pre-K to our CTP programs up to age 21. I have had 4 children go through Salem-Keizer schools. My last is a junior, and I love, love, love our schools. I, like everyone in our health services team, believes that any reduction of current full-time registered nurses will be detrimental to our students, their families, and Salem-Keizer School District staff. Most of my words are very similar to everyone else's, but I do want you to know that lots of research over the last few days that I didn't know really focused on a Center for Disease Control that more than 40% of school-aged children and adolescents have at least one chronic health condition. They bring them to school. The healthcare needs of these kids with chronic illnesses are super complex, continuous, and include daily management, which would be their school time, and potential emergencies. We were informed that our current school health nurse team of 23 would be cut by 5 full-time. The deputy superintendent came to share round 1 cut reasonings, and he gave RN to student ratios that were not correct and don't reflect what the Oregon legislature recommended before, during, and after the global pandemic. According to ORS 336-201, I should say .201, there's very, very specific levels of medical need that is categorized and then given a ratio of RNs that would be mandated. 1 RN for every 125 very fragile medical students, 1 RN for every 225 medically complex students. The same ORS strongly recommends that in a setting where students do not require dedicated nursing staff, so our general health students would best be served by 1 nurse to every 750 students. So instead of trying to meet these legislative suggestions, we are looking at a ratio of approximately 1 to 2,000, definitely more than 1 to 2,000, but I don't know exact numbers, so I'm sticking with 1 to 2,000. So if we're left with 18 full-time nurses, that's 70 plus school buildings and approximately 39,000 students with 18 nurses. So I guess I just wanted to say, I hope that we can find better solutions that meet all the budgetary constraints and the essential healthcare needs of our students without cutting 5 Salem-Keizer's registered nurses. So thank you for listening.
Thank you to all who provided comment today, and for those who signed up and that we didn't get to this evening. We'll go ahead and recess at this moment for 10 minutes. So we'll return at 7:30 7:25 after a 10-minute break.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Again, thanks to everyone who joined us this evening for public comment, and welcome back, board members. We will move on to our following agenda item, which is the public hearing on Iris Valley Charter Proposal. I will actually hand it over to Dr. West to open up this this portion of the agenda, if you may, and we'll kind of be partnering through this.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair Guzman Ortiz, Superintendent Castaneda, directors, student advisors. Nice to see you all tonight. I'm going to provide a very brief overview of the process that we are legally required to follow when there is a charter proposal that is presented to the school district. And then we'll open it up for the actual hearing, during which we'll also have an opportunity to hear directly from the proposer. So please, next slide. Just briefly, there is a two-step process that the school district is required to follow whenever we receive a proposal for a new charter school. The first step in that process is that we must determine if the proposal is complete. There is a long list of statutory required criteria that must be included within a charter proposal. And we pull together a team within the school district to evaluate the proposal against that list of criteria to make sure that everything that is required is actually present. We are not at that time making an evaluation based on any sort of judgment. We're simply looking to make sure that if something is required, it is included within the proposal. If it's not, then we contact the proposer and we give them an opportunity to add to their proposal to make it complete prior to bringing it to the school board, and that is in fact what happened in this case. So the proposal that is brought to you tonight meets that first criteria. The second step in the process is that we must hold a public hearing within 60 days pursuant to ORS 338.0551. And we are doing that tonight. So tonight is the public hearing. We will also ask you at the conclusion of the public hearing to take action before the evening concludes, but we'll get to that in just a few minutes. So Chair Guzman Ortiz, I will pitch it back to you to move on to the public hearing process.
All right, so if I'm doing this correctly, this will be our public comment portion of the this process. Do we have folks? Okay, well, like Karen O'Connell. Okay, Karen, welcome. You do have an opportunity at this point as a proposer to provide comment if you wish, so please do so. And just ask that you hold that button.
Okay, members of the school board, superintendent, thank you so much for even giving me this opportunity. It has been 2 years and more coming. 2 years ago, January 2022, I contacted actually Katie at ODE and asked her if I wanted to start a charter school, where would I begin? And she pointed me in the right direction. That direction turned into contacting Miss West, and she has been a great liaison in helping me through this process and answering even small questions that have come up along the way. One of the hardest parts of building a charter school is building it literally out of nothing. And that's the way that this school began, is simply as an idea. And it is an idea that has come to here, to you. And I'm very proud of that. There is a Facebook group with currently 77 members in it. There was a larger one, however, there was some Facebook snafus, and that one had to get shut down, that had 120 people in it. And Actually, currently there's 110, but only about 5 of them are still active. So we have about 85 people who are active. We also have a website that has well over 200 hits on it through Wix.com, which does the best job possible of outlining what we have, what we want, what our dream is. So let me get to that. This school will be a safe and nurturing environment in our communities for families of students in grades kindergarten through 8th. Our main focus will be students who are considered neurodivergent. That means that they have been or are in the process of being diagnosed with ADHD, autism disorder, and other mental sensory processing disorder, and other mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and trauma-related issues. This is a very important thing in our community because there's a lot of students who could be better served in our schools right now. And this school would strive to be a place for that and a safe place for that. Of course, just regular neurotypical students would be welcome as well. And the lottery process would be upheld throughout admissions. Not only will the school provide an excellent education to the students it serves, we do intend to hold students accountable for academic and behavior to the highest level possible. However, that highest level will look like if a student came in and they didn't know how to write their name, and by the end of the year they can write their name and a paragraph, then that is wonderful, and that student has made progress, whatever level they came in at. It will also provide a place for families to meet and feel welcome, discuss, and learn more about the issues around parenting and being a family member of neurodivergence, which I already referred to. That, in and of itself, is much needed in our community. As a parent of 2 neurodivergent students myself, both in the Salem-Keizer school system, both on 504s, one in high school and one in elementary school, it is a very lonely place to be. And if nothing else, we have created a community on Facebook of 85 people who now know that we are not alone. And I am proud of that, if nothing else. But I would like to be able to provide more. The learning environment will be best suited for all students, but especially those with neurodivergent needs, as it will address the reality that all students learn in different ways and at different paces. Flexible seating, quiet fidgets, earbuds with quiet music, and weighted lap pads will all be common sights around the school and available for all students to use at any time. Students will be placed in ability groups for English, language, arts, and math. This and all grades K through 8 will meet in these subjects at the same time, so it will be across school. This will allow all students to work at their own pace. An example of this would be a student who is in 5th grade, but still learning their multiplication facts. It happens often. This student would be in a 5th grade classroom for most of the day, therefore getting the social, emotional piece of their education and learning with age-like peers. However, They would also be in a math group that is working on multiplication facts and other ability appropriate lessons and activities. But it wouldn't just be this fifth grader going to a third grade classroom. It would be third graders, fifth graders, fourth graders, second graders, anyone in the school who is ready to work on multiplication facts. The same would be true for ELA. Likewise, a first grade student who is ready to learn how to do regrouping, which is a skill usually taught in second grade, will be in a group working on that skill. All students will be assessed at 4-week intervals, quick assessments, to ensure that they are in the correct ability groups and replaced as necessary. They will be given a choice of assessments, and the menu will be paper and pencil, computer, project, essay, verbal, or portfolio. I speak to this from experience. I have my master's degree in education, but I didn't take the test. I literally wrote a book because I don't test well. And I was very happy that there was another way to do it. It took me an extra year to get my master's degree, but I took that option because it was available. I would like to see those options be available to all students as well. Teachers in kindergarten and in the first, second grade split classrooms may decide to limit the assessment menu to 2 to 3 options because, of course, our younger students would feel probably overburdened with so many choices. All staff will be appropriately trained in how to best meet the learning needs of our students and be given access to frequent trainings and materials. These are just a few reasons why we, as a group of community members, feel that this school will be an excellent addition to the already well-established charter schools Salem-Keizer School District offers to families. I understand that the budget is more than tight, and I understand that I'm coming to you and asking you for money. But I also understand that this school would help ease some of that class size issue that, yes, all parents are aware of. There are 4 items that Ms. West will tell you, Dr. West will tell you are reasons why you should deny this proposal. She and I have talked about them, and unfortunately, they were questions that could have been answered had they been asked of me. The first is the budget in terms of employee benefits. I and my team are not proposing that we offer full health care benefits. I have worked in both private schools and know many other charter school teachers. The plan would be to offer FSA, and we would also offer other benefits such as having licensure renewals paid trainings, and a $50 a month stipend for classroom supplies, as well as other curriculum needs paid for by the school, so that teachers will not need to spend anything out of pocket, hopefully. So those would be some of the benefits that would be towards teachers. Also, if they were lucky enough to have one of their children in the school through the lottery process, we would be offering paid childcare through our school privately, and they would get either free or reduced before and after school tuition. So that those would be some of the benefits that would be offered to them. And all of those, except the FSA, are included in the budget already. Startup costs and fundraising. As I said, this began as an idea and became public about 2 years ago. And I don't know if any of you have tried to raise money about an idea or for an idea, but it is next to impossible. The fact that we now have, because I just deposited $1,000 into our account today, $6,444 for an idea, I think is amazing. And I'm very thankful to our supporters for giving us that money. If you choose to make this idea a reality, it will be much easier for us to raise money. I guarantee it. Because as a small business owner, I own my own tutoring business. It became much easier for people to see me as an actual business when I registered it with the state and I became brick and mortar, although I still go to houses too. That's what I know Salem-Keizer families are looking for. And we're looking to you to make that decision tonight, to make us a reality and not just some ambiguous idea, which is kind of what we are at the moment. The third and fourth refer to special education. One was an overlook by me on student rights. I missed the part where I needed to put in about student escalation in terms of what would be a student on a 504 IEP and escalation in behavior. That answer is easy. In their 504 or IEP, we will, in the meeting, decide what their escalation looks like for behavior because each student is different. I have not made that change yet, but obviously it is 2 or 3 sentences and can be made tomorrow. The other is parental rights, and that was a miswording on my part. I said that parents would not need to be included. What I meant was they do need to be at the meetings. They do have a right to be included in every step of the process. I told you, I have 2 students on 504s, and I firmly believe in parental rights. However, what I meant by that was, once those things are put in place, they will not need to worry so much about, is this actually happening? And they will be able to just trust that, yes, it's going to happen. But of course, they can always come back and ask questions. Of course, they can always come back and make sure that things are happening. And of course, we want them to be involved because parents know their children best. That is what I have to say. Thank you again so much for your time. Again, I know that the budget is tight, more than tight. And yes, I was sitting in the room while everyone else was speaking. I heard, and I know, and I've been listening on Instagram as well. However, I do think that this would help. It would help ease some of those classroom numbers. It would help ease the pressure on some of the teachers who are working tirelessly with special needs students. And it would, again, provide a place in the community for parents like me. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for your comments. Ms. O'Connell, I'll go ahead and hand it back to Dr. West.
Thank you, Chair Guzman-Ortiz. I believe we had 1 person registered for public comment.
Okay.
So
I don't have the list, so if there's someone, do I have it? I do have it somewhere. Oh, Lisa Nash. Lisa, are you here? Okay. Other than that, I don't have any additional names on the public comment list signed up for this portion of the agenda, so I think it's back to you, Dr. West.
correct. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting the slides back up. So to move on to the next step, I want to remind the board that there are very specific and a long list of criteria that must be included in a proposal. The board's responsibility at this point is to evaluate 8 criteria that are laid out in statute. What I am going to do right now is highlight 2 criteria for you that lead to the district's recommendations specific to this charter proposal. Next slide, please. 1 more, please. Thank you. The first requirement that I want to highlight here is that the proposer needs to demonstrate financial stability. There are two specific examples that I'd like to pull out from the proposal that we believe demonstrates that at this point the proposer is not able to remain financially solvent. The first is that the proposal does not demonstrate how the startup costs identified at $48,000 in the proposal will be covered with what we now know is a $6,600 balance. And the second is, as the proposer illustrated, the staffing costs are significantly undervalued for this particular market. As the proposer pointed out, the proposal does not include what we call APC or associated payroll costs, which are common and expected among educators, especially in this particular market. The second requirement that I'd like to point out to the board is specific to special education. Thank you for advancing the slides. And the two examples from the proposal that I'd like to highlight that demonstrate that the proposer is not prepared to meet the needs of students with special needs is that the discipline steps that are articulated within the proposal that the school plans to follow does not allow for what is known as manifestation determination. If a student has an IEP, there are very specific steps that must be followed when the student demonstrates behavior that might lead to a different placement, a suspension, or expulsion. Specifically, we are required to determine if that behavior is a manifestation of the student's disability. That requirement was not articulated within the proposal. The second example that I would like to highlight here is, as the proposer pointed out, the proposal says that parents don't need to be involved in the process. Our proposer, Ms. O'Connell, did offer some explanation there. Parent involvement within the IEP and 504 process is legally mandated, and it's required at every step of the process, including involvement in setting and evaluating goals and evaluating progress towards those goals during IEP meetings and throughout the progress throughout the school year. There are other examples that we could highlight, but I think these four that I've pointed out are illustrative of how at this point the proposal is not at a level that as a school district we could recommend to the board for approval. So it is at this time the district's recommendation that the school board deny the proposal as it's currently written, and we'll ask you to take action on that in just a few minutes here. Chair Guzman-Ortiz, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. West. At this time, we'll go ahead and open for discussion, if I understand correctly. So I would like to ask that we kind of keep comments brief. I think we're pushing our agenda out a little bit, so I don't know if the board has comments for this portion. Yeah, Director Hinojosa-Presi.
Thank you, Chair Guzman-Ortiz. So I do want to preface this that I see a lot of care and attention into the proposal, and especially hearing your passion. It is very heartwarming, and I appreciate it because I also am a neurodivergent person, and I know that it gets passed on through genetics, so more than likely I am also raising a neurodivergent person. And this is something that I would have loved to have had the opportunity to participate in as I was growing up as well. But that being said, what Dr. West is highlighting here and these legal rights and responsibilities is not an oversight that I can really just let go. And so I do hope that you take all this and consider working on it some more, because I know that it's really hard to get something like this off the ground, especially once you start taking into account all the expenses. You're looking at creating something that just ends up providing education as a side project because of the fact of how much time and energy and attention has to be spent in raising the money. So again, I do appreciate your time, but I just wanted to say that for that, I won't be able to support it.
Director Chandragiri?
Thank you very much for bringing this proposal. I kind of reviewed it. There's a huge need, don't get me wrong. There's a huge need. But there are some concerns which I observed, which really I wanted to highlight, hopefully that you will be able to consider at least when you try to come back in future. One of the concerns is children with special needs. Often they have physical health problems and medical health problems. And in your proposal, I don't see any place for registered nurse or thing. Yet the medication had to be delegated something. So that's one area I noticed, the potential procedures and things like that. The second part is with respect to the law, the Senate Bill 819, which Oregon passed this year, I believe, which talks about abbreviated days for whatever reason, whether behavioral reasons, etc., really requires you to have a mechanism to have an IEP meeting, and the parents have to consent and modify. And I went through your proposal, and I don't see you calling out that and saying, how will you manage, for some reason, if you have to abbreviate the day and still meet the obligations? Because parents can say no, then what do you do? And the second piece is the fiscal piece. I mean, what was highlighted. But if there is an unanticipated increase in cost, you have $6,000 to start with. How will you meet the payroll for the next month for some reason if the finances gets delayed in dispersing to you, or for whatever reason we don't pass the, so that will put your staff in a risky position. And then what happens to the children? So these are really important programs, but you can meet the mission if you can think of the margin and make sure that there's some kind of end cushion of balance for at least 3 to 4 months worth of payroll that you can meet to start the process for some reason if there is a delay in meeting your bills. That is one concern I would have. Then what happens to children? Where will you refer them? But the whole concept of need, I am with you. It's so much needed. I hope there are different ways in which you will support our children, either in terms of after-school program or something else, as opposed to undertaking in this format. So thank you. So hence I will be not able to support it the way it's drafted, but please understand there is a huge need.
Thank you.
Yeah, Director Hudson.
I know we're limited on time. After everything that's already been said, I just wanted to express gratitude again, because I have heard several of us, and I know most do, we agree that with what you're saying, your theory, the charter schools, we would be blessed to have more. But I really, really hope, I know you've been working so hard and so long, 2.5 years, and not giving up on the children, because anyway, and all the goals that have brought you here, I hope that you can continue to take some of that extra guidance into consideration honestly, and whether you do end up servicing the community elsewhere or end up somehow assisting a charter school in the future, we thank you for your angst and your passion and willingness to step up and start this in the first place, and all the obstacles that you've already overcome. And I hope that we can continue to have a program in the district that can help folks guide and develop more charter schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Director Carson Cunningham, Second Vice Chair Carson Cunningham.
I just want to echo what my fellow board member colleagues have said. You can tell how passionate you are about the work that you do, and how it impacts the kids, your own kids and other kids in our community. And so I'm really have so much gratitude for that work that you do in the community. I think there's a lot of value in this proposal. I think with some of the topics that have been raised and some tweaks to address some of these issues, the fiscal and financial sustainability issues, and then some of the other requirements for students with disabilities, I think it could be a more robust proposal. I know you've worked so hard. I just want to thank you for that, and thank you for your compassion and your desire to really provide more for the community.
Thank you all. I'll go ahead and move us at this point to close this hearing portion, if I'm not mistaken, and to move on to the next portion, which is the action item agenda. And the first action item on the agenda is a vote on the Iris Valley Charter School application for charter status. So now that we've just had some discussion on regarding Iris Valley Charter proposal, I will call for a vote at this point. And given the recommendation from the district, all those in favor of denying the Iris Valley Charter School application as proposed, if you will please raise your hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. That is a unanimous vote in the negative there. Again, thank you for your time, for your energy. This is absolutely. Yes.
I love the optimism.
Yes. Thank you. That concludes this portion of this action item. Sorry, it just feels it's a difficult one, I think, just because we hear your passion and we hear your heart in it. And so just thank you. And thank you, Dr. West, for your comments also, and for just guiding us and guiding Ms. O'Connell through this process. I know it's been a long, extended one. At this point, we'll go ahead and move forward into the early literacy framework adoption, which I will pass on to Deputy Superintendent Cobb for a presentation on this.
Thank you so much, Chairperson Guzman-Ortiz, board members, and Superintendent Castañeda. I'm here to bring you details on our grant proposal that I told you about last month. We are ready to submit our grant, and we are looking for approval from the board for that grant submission at the end of December. So next slide, please. Just to give you a little bit of background, in May of 2023, the Oregon Department of Education released the Oregon Literacy Framework. And then later in June, the legislature and the governor's office passed House Bill 3198, that is the Early Literacy Success Initiative. This initiative is made to build a cohesive system for districts to have a comprehensive literacy plan that will ultimately improve literacy outcomes for our students K-2. We were excited about the opportunity because we have been doing a lot of work in the past few years in Salem-Keizer around training for our teachers, and also understanding the way in which we teach literacy in the best way, not only in English but also in Spanish, and for all of our multilingual learners. The framework also is designed to be a guide for all districts to have some alignment. And in this, we have also had the opportunity to participate in conversations at the state level with other districts, with other deputy superintendents. And that has fueled our action, and also has been an encouraging process to let us know that we are headed in the right direction in our system, in our district. Next slide, please. I had shared this slide with you last month, and this just talks about the guiding principles of the initiative. And the important thing here is that it really elevates the components of a very comprehensive literacy plan that begins at birth and has parents as our most important partners. There is a huge focus on the funding, on how are we going to bring parents into the learning of literacy, and what are the things that they can do at home, and how can we explicitly help families join us in that journey. We also have very clear expectations around how we're going to teach foundational skills. So starting from the smallest unit of literacy, which are letters, then going into words, sentences, and then stories, paragraphs, text, and then also bringing comprehension, background, culture, and language as part of that building of knowledge and building of a really successful literacy person or a student that has a lot of great literacy skills. Next slide, please. So the grant requirements are divided in 7 sections, and then they have 3 additional areas that they wanted us to pay attention to. And what they required of, what they asked us to do was look through all of those sections and tell them what are the things that we have in place, and then what are some other things that we can do to sustain and expand. As soon as this was available to us in June, we got a team together and we started looking through all of our systems in Salem-Keizer and figuring out what can we do to see if we meet all of these expectations that the framework offered. And it was a very affirming process to us. We have lots of things in place that I'll share with you. I'm not gonna read all of those to you, but I will stop in some that are really important. So the grant submission, the grant will be divided in these sections, and we have details that tell the team, the review team, all of the pieces that we have in Salem-Keizer that are related to each of the sections. So student belonging, for example, last summer, we did a big text purchase in both English and Spanish that align with our literacy standards, but are from the Character Strong curriculum. That is our social emotional learning curriculum that the district has. They are culturally relevant and they can be used to enhance standards, but they are applicable for things that students deal with in just situations in every day. And we have heard from teachers that they are a great resource to add to the classroom. We have core review teams, and these are times when teachers come together as a grade level team and they talk about student progress, they talk about their impact on how students are making that progress, and then they have the opportunity to disaggregate the data and see how some groups are doing in comparison to other groups. This is important because it helps us get to what else do we need to do when a student is not feeling good about their own progress. How do we communicate with families so they feel supported through the learning journey that the student is having at our school. We also have our panorama survey that always gives us an idea or helps us take temperature on how students are feeling around teachers and at school and around all the supports that we provide for them. In section 2, family and community partnerships, we found that we have a lot of things that we offer, but there's an opportunity here for us to develop more structured systems that are consistent from one school to the other. Right now, we have some schools that have lots of these components, and then other schools that maybe has one. So there's a lot of opportunity for improving and expanding those resources and supports on how we bring our family and community. Some examples are the Jumpstart Kinder opportunity, for example, of kids that come to all of our schools, to our title schools for a week to have that first time experience of what it means to be a kindergartner. It's just them in the school with the teachers and with the assistants, and there's also an assessment that the teacher has with the parent. We have grants that partner with us to provide development for teachers, and also that help us bridge communication and training for our preschools in the area and our elementary schools and kinder teachers. We have family literacy nights in all of our schools, and we have Leyendo Avanzamos, which is a program that we do in partnership with the Coalition for Equality that we are looking forward to expanding if this grant is awarded to us. We would love to see these programs in all the schools, and right now we have them in about 6 schools. Next slide, please. The section 3, again, this was really affirming for us to see because this is something we have been focused on for the past 4 years in Salem-Keizer. As I shared before, literacy starts from the small components, from letters to words to stories, but it cannot happen. A successful literacy program cannot happen without oracy, without students practicing in saying the words. We say to teachers, we have to put our words into kids' mouths, and even more when they are a second language learner. If you have visited classrooms, you have seen how teachers do choral reading, when the whole class is reading together, or when the teacher says, I go first, then you repeat it, echo reading. There's a strategy behind all of those practices. And there's a reason why the teacher uses it at the time that they use it. And we have been focused on this. Is actually our one big area of focus for every school this year, is that oracy practice, providing students with sentence frames so they understand the structure of language, giving them academic language so they can practice it and they can get better at retelling stories. And then, of course, our ultimate goal is that oracy gets us to good writing, right? We learn to read, then we talk about it, and then we convert that into great writing. The section 4, it was also another affirming area for us, and it's all the models that we're using for reading have to be research-based. And in these, our dual language program is mentioned over and over in the framework, and we are expanding successfully, as we have heard in this room or through our board meetings. And that also makes us really proud to be part of to be able to write it into the framework application. And then foundational skills, again, making sure that that every single teacher knows how to teach reading, and not only how to teach reading in English, but how to teach reading in Spanish, and then how to teach reading to students that are learning a different language than English and Spanish at home. We have about over 90% of our teachers in grades K-5 have been through all of these trainings. We were able to do an incredible summer professional development program last summer. And then we also have covered for teachers this year in classrooms, even though we haven't had the same amount of subs that we've had in the past. We figured out a way to cover for teachers so that they can step out of the classroom for a day and receive the training. Again, all of these foundational skills are also planned during the teacher's core planning time once a week. That is an expectation and is happening at every elementary school. Next slide, please. Reading, writing, comprehension, vocabulary. After students learn to decode, we need to continue supporting their progress and making sure that if there are that we have systems in place to continue to push students that can read quickly, and that is where the tag programs come along, and this is also where teachers are doing differentiated instruction in the classrooms. We have great level mentor texts, and then teachers follow projection maps, which are just the sequence on how we teach those standards for each of the grade levels throughout the year. These Section 6 also help us guarantee that each of our students receive the standards that they're supposed to learn during that school year. Section 7, core instruction and assessment. We do universal screenings that allow us to measure how our students are doing as a group compared to other students in other places that are the same grade and same age group. And so this is a great way for us to, again, take temperature and see how we're doing as a whole. And then based on that, we also can continue digging deeper into the data until we get to the individual student and make sure that they are receiving the interventions that they need, or they are receiving the extensions that they need if they are, performing above grade level. Something also in here that is a way to expand is that we are piloting an assessment called STAR this year. That has been well received by the 9 elementary schools. We have 16 total schools that are using it K-12, and we have received great feedback, and we are planning to expand these assessment to all elementary schools next year and all dual language schools K-12. And then number 8 is just our commitment that our students are receiving access, are being granted access to grade level instruction. And what this refers to is, in the past, when a student was receiving special education services, we would pull the student out of the class, and that took that student away from the core level of instruction for that specific grade level. And we don't do that anymore. We guarantee that those blocks of time for core instruction are protected, and that the students receive the interventions outside of those times that are for them to get the standards and the grade level information that they need. Next slide, please. These are the 3 areas where these are additional areas in these. We had to answer questions around how will we make sure that our professional development and coaching are connected and are helping build the skills of the teachers on those 8 sections that I just shared with you. And then what kind of extended learning are we going to provide our students, like the Title Migrant School or the different summer opportunities that we offer our students. And then how are we going to continue helping teachers learn through practice? So can we do a summer school where the teacher is doing some learning and then practicing with the students, and then come back the next day and debrief with the team, and then don't do some more learning with the students? And we have that done in the past, and it's a great plan for us to follow. Again, great feedback from teachers when we have done that. And then the last one is a request for what high dosage tutoring would look like. And so these are the interventions, again, that happen outside that core literacy block. And then these are also interventions that need to start happening outside of school time. So some opportunities for after-school programming and partnerships with community organizations that can help us with that after-school programming. Then the funding for Salem-Keizer, we estimate a little over $3 million coming from this grant, which is great news at this time. And we would also commit to bringing an annual report on the progress that we make. And we also have to commit to 25% match to the grant, which we are looking at SIA for. And these are some of the things that the grant would support. $3 million won't go very far, but we feel like we can make a big impact by bringing some literacy specialists into the system. A lot of our schools don't have a literacy specialist, and if they do, they maybe have a half-time literacy specialist. So these will help us really improve that effort. We would provide some instructional assistance support, again, maybe at the kinder, first grade levels. And then professional development for teachers, continue with that effort. And the big improvement to how we partner with parents, maybe developing a parent academy that will bring that parent education component. I think these are my slides. So now I'll turn it back to you, Chair Guzman, for any comments, questions, or for the vote of approval for our submission of the grant.
Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Cobb. I will go ahead and at this point call for discussion. Are there comments? Yes, Director Nojos Presi.
Thank you. I was just wondering, so how much of this is work that's already implemented in the district, and how much of it will have to be like a shift?
A lot of it, we are already doing it well. For example, ECRI, I will just give you a couple of examples. ECRI, which is what we use to help our teachers learn how to teach those foundational skills, has been something that is pretty solid in our district. We already have a system to train every single teacher who's new to us. So we created that as an expectation. The next level to that is helping teachers that are serving also multilingual learners, because ECRI is very focused in English. And we have students that come with other languages, and we are just now adding a new set of strategies to help teachers know how to teach English in consideration with all the other languages that they bring. So in the grant the application is filled with examples like that of things that we already have in place, but we want to enhance because of our population or because of the latest research or because we know more. There's an opportunity also with our dual language expansion to look at Canciones y Cuentos, which is another curriculum that we use to teach foundational Spanish skills. And so strengthen that and then help more teachers learn it. So in all, there's stuff that we have been doing and then opportunities to expand it and make it better.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Chandaguri.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Cobb. I love this concept. There are two questions that kind of comes with it. Is this a one-time grant or is it a recurring grant? And if there's, because you mentioned there's a longitudinal plan we need to have. You talked about SIA. Are we able to braid it with Title I, which allows us to intervene with parents? Or this will exclude us from getting that? And are you planning to use this fund for non-title schools to include parents? So what's the sustainability plan that you have with this one-time grant?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It will be a recurring grant that we are looking at integrating. If you remember last year, we came to you and talked a lot on how we are really braiding all the funds that we receive to maximize them. And so in this case, we would bring in this funding and braid it with SIA to focus it under the SIA goals of language and literacy. And we also have the SIA goal of EL proficiency. So it just matches perfectly there. Then we would give that as a baseline, these supports as baseline to schools, and then each school to all schools, also to all schools, not only title, but all schools. And then title schools could come in and supplement from that, just add a little bit from it.
So as far as the teachers' training and professional development, is there any other Title II dollars that you could braid with this, or it doesn't allow you to do that? Any other federal dollars you can use for professional development on top of this, or they are excluded?
No, I think my friend is gonna help me, but I wanna. Yes, we always are using Title $4, for example, that are for professional development, but we would use them to provide a specific kind of training and then braid it with what we need from this one. But I'll let Dr. West complete my answer.
It's live, so I won't push the button. Briefly, think about two different conversations that we've had over the past couple of years. The first is around the integrated plan. As Deputy Superintendent Cobb mentioned, this grant will be part of the integrated plan. So it'll become one of 5 other grants, so a total of 6 grants now that we will be able to braid as we do our strategic planning and adjust according to outcomes and progress. In terms of title monies specifically, what's important to remember regarding title monies is that they are restricted funds that are required to be supplemental. So the way we utilize those funds in our school environments are a little bit different than the SIA fund, for example, or the early literacy grant, because as a supplemental grant, it must be spent on top of or in addition to things that are already being done in our schools, but we do leverage our federal grants in that way to support efforts like literacy in our school environments.
Thank you.
Yeah, Director Hudson?
I'll try to be quick. Thanks. Little question above what has already been asked. When you were talking about the Title I and migrant summer school, I was curious if you could elaborate a little bit on that because I don't know much about that. So would that include migrants from anywhere and duration? Is it every summer? Does it last all summer? Is it shorter? And things like that. I have plenty of questions around it, but I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Yes, we've had the migrant and title summer schools for a long time, and they usually last 3, sometimes 4 weeks. I think we've done one that was maybe a little longer than that. We always like to make it as long as we can, as the funds will allow. Our Salem-Keizer teachers work in our summer schools, which is incredible because it's an opportunity for them to continue practicing. We do staff development within the program, and then it's a great opportunity to bring in students. Students do have to qualify for migrant programs. They have to be eligible for migrant, and so they have to be students who are part of families that are migrant workers. And then we also, so that's one. And then we also have our Title Summer School, and these are all for Title schools, students that are in Title schools, and teachers usually refer students. We start asking schools to develop a list of students who would benefit from this opportunity over the summer. And then again, we put out information for our teachers. Our teachers, instructional assistants, are the ones teaching and supporting. There's always a PD component, a professional development component in these opportunities. And then again, we try to make them as long as we can to benefit students. Sometimes they're 3 weeks, sometimes they're a little longer than that.
Okay, thanks. So, and this is K through 12 for the ones that are already dual language schools. Otherwise, it's just the younger grades, the summer school for under migrant workers. And I think you said under the application, it wasn't clear, any student of any race or ethnicity can apply for that and may get granted or not, right?
Yes, so for summer school is for students who are in title schools or who are eligible for migrant program. But for this application, for this separate grant, the grant applies to all of our students in Salem-Keizer K. The grant is really more targeted for kinder through second grade, but there are opportunities for us to expand supports for students in 3rd through 5th.
Thank you
and
for
this
clarifying.
is in all schools, title
Yes.
or non-title.
Okay, for all the struggling children. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Cobb. I would like to call for a motion of approval at this point. Thanks for the report. I know there's, information also in our packets, and I know that this early literacy framework has been a huge effort undertaken by ODE over the last year, and just the investments in early literacy overall by our legislature as well. So I'll go ahead and call for a motion for approval of the early literacy framework as recommended. Director Chandragiri moves. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Director Richardson seconds. And do we have any additional comments at this point for?
I'd just like to say thank you very much for your work and your team's work on this literacy plan. It's outstanding. I saw the family training module. My heart is heavy for that because our parents don't know what to do and how to support their students. That'd be great for our families. But I also see another aspect in there that I'd like for us to look at some point. And that's, I know I was an elementary principal and I had never taught elementary. I didn't know how to teach reading. I think all of our teachers need to be able to take some of these modules and learn what we're doing with the literacy framework and use it in other subject areas.
Thank you, Director Richardson.
Call the vote, please.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and call for the vote at this point. All those in favor, if you'll raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All right, that's a unanimous vote of approval for the early literacy framework adoption. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent. I'll go ahead and transition at this point to the student investment account grant agreement. And back to you, Dr. West.
Thank you so much. As a reminder, we've been talking about the integrated plan for quite some time. Several months ago, we brought to you our longitudinal performance growth targets. Just as a reminder, those growth targets include sense of belonging in grades 3 through 5, and then also in grades 6 through 12, regular attendance, 3rd grade reading, 9th grade on track, 4-year cohort graduation. We went through a co-creation process with the Department of Education on those goals and what those goals look like over a 5-year period. We brought those to you several months ago for your approval. You did approve those goals. In fact, they were adopted as the district's results policy, which is super helpful to us. We are in front of you today because the next part of this process is that we need you to approve the grant agreement that goes along with those goals, specifically the student investment account. This is a new process for the Department of Education. The student investment account grant agreement has the longitudinal performance growth targets written into the grant agreement for the first time. And we are required to receive board approval for that grant before the Department of Education will release it to us. So just real quick, if you could advance 2 slides. I've actually moved ahead now. There we go. Thank you. So a reminder about the grants that are included in the integrated plan. There will be 6 of them. 3 of the grants within the integrated plan we have already received our allocation for. That includes the student investment account, which again includes the longitudinal performance growth targets, high school success, and then a small grant called an early indicator and intervention system, which we call EIIS. Those 3 agreements have already been allocated to schools. The SIA is coming before you now. The other 3 grants that are part of the integrated plan, the Early Literacy Success Initiative, which you just heard Deputy Superintendent Cobb speak in detail about, the Perkins Grant, and then the Federal School Improvement Fund, specifically to schools receiving comprehensive interventions or targeted interventions. Those grants are not yet available to us to allocate, but I wanted to put them all up there for you so you had a reminder of the entire integrated plan. The questions around how we braid funds, this is how we braid funds. All of these funds are utilized towards common outcomes, common longitudinal performance growth targets that we are all working hard to achieve. So it is the district's recommendation that the student investment account grant in front of you is approved this evening. That grant is in the amount of $40,359,093.01.
Thank you, Director West. At this moment, I'll call for discussion. Yes, Director Chandigiri.
Thank you, Chair. This is a change, and I really like it because they are not only funding us, but there is an accountability piece attached to it, which is a little different from the past. It was more like, here's the fund. And so I really am glad that we got that as part of our board goals, because funding without accountability doesn't really lead to equity. It just, so I really like this. So when other pieces of the grant gets added to it, will we be held to a different accountability standard, or we'll still stick to the same longitudinal, what is that longitudinal? I forget the P stands for growth target.
Well done. I appreciate that question. The student investment account grant is the only one that requires board approval. The expectation from the Department of Education is that all 6 of these different funding sources will be braided together and leveraged towards achieving the goals that were set in those longitudinal performance growth targets co-creation process.
Any other discussion? Seeing none. All right, do I have a motion for approval of the student investment account grant agreement as recommended?
I'll move.
Second Vice Chair Carson Cunningham motions. Do I have a second?
I second.
Director Richardson seconds. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'll also take note that Chair Guzman Ortiz is voting aye. Unanimous decision. So then we have a pass. Thank you again for all the work putting into this. We appreciate it, and thank you for the explanation, Director West. I'll pass it back to our chair, and let me just catch you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Avila. We'll go ahead and just jump straight through. I know we have a heavy action item agenda, so this next portion is the Oregon School Boards Association resolution to amend bylaws relating to the composition of the Board of Directors as recommended, and OSBA's resolution to amend the OSBA 2018 bylaws as recommended. The directors, I know we've seen this already. This was presented to us on the November 14th meeting as a first reading, and it now comes before us as an action item. For OSBA's current election period, local school boards have been asked to vote on 2 OSBA resolutions. The first resolution would amend OSBA's bylaws relating to composition of the Board of Directors. This resolution would create the Oregon Rural School Board Members Caucus and designate a seat on the OSBA Board of Directors and Legislative Policy Committee. The second resolution would amend the OSBA's 2018 bylaws as recommended. I know this is heavy. Lots there. At this point, do I have a motion for approval of Resolution 1, which is resolution to amend Oregon School Boards Association bylaws relating to composition of the Board of Directors as recommended?
I'll motion.
Director Avila motions. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Director Hinojos-Presi seconds. And any discussion on this first motion?
Good idea.
All right.
Pretty technical.
Great idea. Let's move forward. All right. All those in favor, if you'll please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's a unanimous vote for that. Thank you, directors. We'll go ahead and jump on to the second one, which is resolution number 2. Do I have a motion for approval of resolution 2, which is resolution to amend the OSBA's 2018 bylaws as recommended?
I'll move.
Director Hinojos-Presi moves, and Director Richardson seconds.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the resolution, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is a unanimous vote as well in approval. Thank you, directors. We'll move on to, I'm just loving the swiftness. We'll move over to voting for members of OSBA's Marion. We have a couple elections here, which you might have seen. The first one, I'm trying to catch up on time. We'll move forward with the vote for selection to OSBA's Board of Directors for position 11, which is a 1-year term. There are 2 candidates for this position, and one is our own board director, Ashley Carson Cunningham. And candidate 2 is Jeff Craper from Willamette ESD. We'll go ahead and open the floor for discussion at this point and then call for a vote. We have some official ballot selection for position 11. No, we're just going to go ahead and do discussion at this point. Yeah. Do we have discussion on this election?
No.
Position 11.
Yeah, I'd just like to share that I really appreciate the advocacy from our second vice chair, Ashley Carson Cunningham, and I think it'd be really important for our district to have that representative on the board leadership, so in this position. So I'd be in favor of supporting Director Ashley Carson Cunningham.
Yes, Director Richardson.
I also will be in support of Ashley. She's already served in that position, and I think she'll take the knowledge and the wisdom that she's learned and help apply it to what we need to do to operate as a board efficiently.
Thank you. I absolutely echo and just really appreciate Director Carson Cunningham's attention to just the detail and looking at issues and solutions and just forward thinking and just a huge heart. So I will also be supporting Director Carson Cunningham in this election. I don't see other hands at this point, so I am going to move us forward and call for a vote. All those in favor of, sorry, we're not doing it this way. I'm ready to call for Director.
I'll make the motion.
Yes,
that
thank
I
you.
would like to move that we elect Ashley Carson Cottingham from Salem-Keizer Public Schools District for position 11 in the Marion County region for a one-year term for the Board of Directors of OSBA.
Thank you.
I will second that motion.
Great. Now we can move forward for a vote to support Director Carson Cunningham for position 11. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 We have a unanimous vote of support.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, I'm fumbling my way through this one, but I think we can figure out position 12 much more smoothly. So at this point, we'll move over to vote for a member to OSBA's Legislative Policy Committee in the Marion County region, which is position 12. Now, there are two candidates in this position. Candidate 1 is again our own board director, Osvaldo Avila, and candidate 2 is Merle Stutzman from North Marion School District. Do we have discussion at this point around this election? Yeah, Director Carson Cunningham.
I would just like to recommend Osvaldo Avila to continue his service on the Legislative Policy Committee. He's already been serving in that role, is very interested and engaged in legislative policy work, and I think he's an asset to the OSBA LPC.
Thank you. Director Richardson.
That's me. I'd just like to ditto what Ashley just said.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have other comments?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if I need to bring it up for discussion if I were going to drop a different name in the hat. Okay, thanks.
No. I think we're good to move on at this point. So we'll conclude discussion. Do we have, sorry, I'm confused because it says here call for a vote, but I don't, we're calling for a vote for the first portion, for the first name that we have on the list so far. You want to make a motion there? Yeah, let's do that. I like that idea better.
But if Director Hudson wanted to.
Did you want, yeah, Director Hudson, did you have a comment or?
Well, I don't know if I was already supposed to submit mine in the email, but I voted for someone else. And so I don't know if I need to say that in discussion to present another name, that the opponent of the two, Merle Stutzman.
So the ballots that you get are per board?
Per board.
So you don't vote like in on
Yeah,
an
it's just
individual
majority
basis?
of our board that votes. and
Yeah,
chooses
so like
them.
if
You guys
since
choose
we
them,
have
so I got it.
for position 12 LPC, like, I mean, you can either make a motion for us to vote for Merle Stutzman or Osvaldo Avila.
Those are the two names for this position specifically. Are you
No, that's all. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't, what this process was exactly. Apologies, wasting everyone's time.
No.
Or if both names will be presented and we vote on each individual name for who we choose when we go through this next step, or if we have to physically bring it up and say it ahead of time. I think I'm about to figure it out. If I have another question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, we'll call a motion and then you can vote on. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel okay?
It's okay, because
Yeah.
I'd be minority anyway.
Just
so-
It's fine.
a point of clarification.
Thank you,
Mike,
guys.
As a board, they have to vote. So that ballot paper, what you got doesn't make sense because as a board, you have one vote eventually. So that's what happening here right now. Because individually, we can't have 7 votes go there. That's
Right.
not the way it works. So every school district in our Marion region will have 1 vote each at the end of the day. That's my understanding, unless something has changed, Ashley.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and, if there's a motion, I would rather proceed that way.
I
Director-
move that we elect, or I guess the wording is funky too. I move that we elect Director Osvaldo Avila for the OSBA LPC position 12.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Director Richardson seconds this in support of Osvaldo Avila for position 12 on the Legislative Policy Committee. All those in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. All those in opposition, please raise your hand and say aye. All right. Thank you. We have Director Hudson votes against and all others vote in support. The motion passes, so that does elect Director Osvaldo Avila to position 12 for the Legislative Policy Committee. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe, or just voting, yes. We're gonna move forward. Thank you all for bracing with me.
Good job.
I know. Our board secretary, Ashley, will complete and submit the official ballot on behalf of the board. So that's, I know what we were kind of discussing around it is a board ballot there. There are a few others, or at least one other that is in the consent agenda that I just kind of wanted to name. But we move on to the consent calendar at this point. And Superintendent Castañeda, is there anything that you'd like to review further in this portion of the agenda?
No, thank you.
I don't know anymore because I wasn't.
All right. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion to.
I'll second that motion.
Director Nospresi moves first, and Director Avila seconds. A motion to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor of approving?
I'm sorry. I am very clunky. Bless all of you, honestly, for your patience with me. I really appreciate you. So I would like to pull a consent item for discussion, if that's okay.
Which item?
So 9A, personnel actions.
All right, we'll go ahead and move forward with the first motion, and
Well, the motion has to be amended.
yes, let's amend the motion.
So I will move that we approve the consent calendar with the removal of section number A.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I second it.
Second. All right, we have a second. Can we move forward? For those who support the approval of the agenda, of the consent calendar with the exception of item A, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 All right, that motion passes, and then I'll hand it over to you, Director Hudson, if there was a comment regarding item A, the pulled item.
Okay, thank you. So I just was hoping to kind of focus in on this more, what it is and what it includes exactly. As far as the details go, just because I've been approached multiple times from community stating that people have been terminated and brought back, and it was the board's decision. We did it. And so, again, I was just trying to focus on this a little bit. So just to bring some clarity for this, it would help me. You don't understand my question?
I mean, I think if I'm understanding the question, so I mean, if you're looking at the personnel actions on the consent calendar, I mean, we can see here, we have licensed actions, folks that are getting moved from like into temporary part-time, temporary full-time, upgrading from first-year probation of part-time or full-time. and then resignations and retirements. So, I mean, I don't know if maybe what you're hearing is that we accept resignations or terminations, or that we're not renewing someone's contract, and then that they get re-added. Is like, so is that what you're asking? Is that like, you know, we accept someone's termination and then later on they come back through here and get rehired?
I was, yeah, I don't know if this can be something, maybe I should bring it up for future agenda items, but, or just ask in general, but I wonder why I am hearing that, because I know that we consent or not to these here, and it seems that it's so many folks understanding that we determine them before they get to this point, as if there is a termination. So I was just hoping to learn more and, like I said, have some clarification on that. Shall I just?
I would be happy to follow up and make sure that this is set up in a way that's very clear to everyone who's reading it, and also to ensure that all these categories are clear for you. For tonight, I think maybe one of the most important clarifications I can offer is that these are, we have people who are moving into permanent status, we have people who are starting with us, we have resignations, and we have retirements. We do not have any terminations.
Okay, and so it will always say, and I do read them, so
Yeah.
I'll see if it's, okay. And thank you for the follow-up, and thank you for your time. And your.
Thank you. At this point, I'll go ahead if there's a motion. Do we need a motion to approve this pulled item?
I will make the motion.
Thanks, Director Hinojosa-Pressy motions to approve the personal actions on the consent calendar. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Director Avila seconds. All those in favor of approving the personal actions, item A under consent calendar, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 All right, unanimous vote on that. Thank you. We'll go ahead and transition to information and standard reports. I do want to note that we are about 10 minutes from the 9 o'clock time, which is when we lose our interpreters. And so I think I'm going to omit at this point the board reports and just make sure that we contribute the next 10 minutes to this portion of the agenda. If that's all right with everyone.
Yeah.
Off to, I don't know, Superintendent, if there's anything that you'd like to highlight for this portion.
No, I don't believe so. We can move right on to board reports.
Okay, so we can. Let's go ahead then and take a quick roundabout of board reports. I don't know if anyone wants to get us going. Director Chandragiri?
Superintendent Castaneda, it is nice to see you on the Salem City Council work session. I appreciate you being there to join the city councilors and county commissioners on the safety in the community report by Salem Police. And I appreciate you bringing our director of safety. So I'm glad that we are all going to work together, and that's really important to ensure our children are safe and they don't get into trouble. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to pass. Thank you again, everyone that came tonight and spoke, and just for your presence.
At the Salem-Keizer Area Transportation Study, everyone's favorite topic here. I mean, come on. Hey, it's sidewalks, roads, like crosswalks, yeah, like stoplights. It's important infrastructure. But so the big conversation that's happening right now is that the city of Salem would like to change the voting structure, more weighted based on population. So right now there are the Salem-Keizer School District, the City of Turner, Marion County, Polk County, the City of Salem, the City of Keizer, and the Salem Area Mass Transit District. So there's 7 people on the committee, and they all have an equal vote. And the City of Salem realize that they represent 60% of the affected population, and would like to establish voting proportional to that population. And so that's like the biggest topic. It has been tabled a couple of times for conversation, mainly because we're trying to make sure that everyone's able to participate. And unfortunately, our Marion County Commissioner, Kevin Cameron, hasn't been able to participate. So hopefully this will be a topic that's discussed and settled in our January meeting. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have three quick things. I, about a month ago, but after our last board meeting, had the opportunity to visit Richmond Elementary. An educator invited me to come visit at one of our community listening sessions. And so I was able to go visit and observe, I think, about 5 different classrooms. They have such a wide variety of students at that school, and it was just very impressive with how they differentiate in their classrooms. It was several bilingual classrooms, plus a classroom that's designed for kiddos with pretty significant disabilities, and walked through what even an abbreviated day looked like for a particular student. And that was just so great to see how they are working so closely with family and providing that student the education they deserve. I also went to see The Sound of Music at South Salem High School. It was, I mean, I can't say enough good things about our music educators, our drama, theater teachers. It was so professional, and it just blew me away. So kudos. The set design, I just could go on and on. It was, you know, amazing. And then lastly, I was also at the McKinley Band Orchestra Choir concert last night, both because I want to support music in schools, but also because my kids are in band and choir. And it was so much joy. As the superintendent said, everybody singing together. There was a wide array of holiday music, so it wasn't all about one holiday. They did lots of different amazing pieces. And I think one really cool thing that probably not a lot of people know about is that the governor and her wife were in attendance in the bleachers, and just enjoying seeing our little kiddos perform. Some of the band kids just started in October. So it's what you could imagine, like they're just learning how to hold their instruments, and it was just really fun to see our governor there enjoying and supporting Salem-Keizer Public Schools in that way. It was very like low key, but I really want to thank her on what seemed to be a very busy day for her yesterday, according to the media, supporting our kids here in Salem-Keizer. So thank you so much for doing that, Governor.
I just want to thank everybody for coming to speak tonight as well, and all the hard work that was presented in today's work, and getting those grants. And we'll continue to work through, and you know, we're giving each other grace, and speaking truth, and supporting one another throughout these hard times. It's difficult on everybody, and hopefully we can work together in collaboration to resolution through the bargaining with both of our unions. I really appreciate the passion being shown tonight from our educators, and a lot of hard work to go forward. So appreciate it all.
I had the pleasure of seeing Jack and the Big Peach at the Enlightened Theater. The little boy that played Jack was just awesome. I know that he must be one of our elementary students. I've got to track that down. But the students and community members that were in the play were just awesome. I love it, I love it, I love it. Yes, I heard everyone that spoke this evening. My heart is heavy. Everybody's heart is heavy, I'm sure. I know that we will be able to work this out. We just have to figure it out. I know that this is new, and that this is not only happening in Salem-Keizer. We have to know that this is a statewide problem. And I'm thankful that our governor has met with superintendents and that she has a plan that she's laying out, charting a path forward on K-12 education. So she's not leaving it up to each school district to try to figure this out. She's also making a plan for moving us forward. We have to move from this place. I want to thank each and every one of our leadership team that's working so hard to also come up with solutions to where we are. But I truly, truly believe that we are going to resolve this issue because we're going to work hand in hand together. As our superintendent says, we are Salem-Keizer.
Thank you, Director. I'll go ahead and close this off here as well. I actually was reminded, I was at the Christmas parade downtown a couple weeks ago. I was out there in the rain with my high schooler. She was, willing to go and sipping hot chocolate. And there was bands, color guard, and cheerleaders from 3 of our schools, if I remember correctly, West Salem, McKay, and North were present. So that was just very exciting. And then, of course, and just different community members. So that was just a joy to be out there and get to see lots of children and families enjoying the lights and the music and fighting over some lightsabers, I think it was. I don't know, but those things were going they were just a hot commodity during the evening. I kind of wanted to echo Director Richardson's comments, just want to close us off on recognizing that today was a heavy agenda. We had a lot of action items, and that we also had a full room of community members joining us to share their feelings, their feedback, their insights around the budget and just our system overall. I recognize that it is a difficult time to lead, and I don't say that just as as chair, but I said that with sincere compassion to our superintendent, who's been with us for only a few months and is jumping in and facing and guiding us through a very significantly challenging moment. During any average family dinner celebration, and I've shared this before, I'm surrounded by educators and paraprofessionals over Thanksgiving, and that is where I come from. I'm headed home for a few weeks to Mexico, and even on the other side of the border, my family is a family of educators, so I recognize just how fulfilling the job is, and also how difficult it is. And I want everyone to just know that we as a board see and hear that and recognize that. And although we are not out on the field on the daily, we rely heavily on our community and our friends and our family to share, the stories, the highlights, and the needs, of course, that exist within our schools. We know that the cuts that have been shared over the last couple of weeks are painful, and that they are not perfect. We are taking all of the feedback to heart, just taking it seriously, and going to try to do the best that we can with the information that we have in the moment that we are. I tend to say, we're going to stumble through, but we're going to keep making motion forward and recognize that our destination is a shared one, which includes healthy students, educators, and community. So I just want to close with my sincerest appreciation to everyone who is in this room, to everyone who showed up earlier today, to fellow board members, to our families, to our students who show up every day, even when it's difficult, and to our overall community who continues to show up for everyone. We do need each other, and we're gonna stay together through thick and thin, I want to say, and make repairs and make amends as we need to. But it is important that we just stay united as we move forward, because this is the beginning of what continues to be a difficult year. So thanks again. I will go ahead and close us off at this point. Yes, Director Richardson, please.
I just want some corrections for the public comment that was in writing. I am the equity director that was spoken about. I never made $186,000. I worked 44 years of my life and never got to that point. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Richardson. All right, well, it is now 9:03, and we are adjourned.